Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Point out my super awesome sweatshirt. Power Rangers, if you didn't know. I'm making this video about my advice for incoming collegiate student athletes. There are some things that I regret that I wish that I would have done. Okay, so I have some things right here. I think the first couple things I'm going to talk about are things that I would say to someone before they enter actually going to college, like the summer before or right after you commit, if you commit really early because you were recruited really early. One of my biggest things that I would say is trusting your parents or whoever the biggest influencer is in your life. I thought that I definitely knew who I was when I was 16, 17, 18, and I was like, oh, I think that this school would be so much fun to go to, but there's so many other aspects that when you're that young, you don't think about, but your parents or whoever that person is that you trust the most, those people, they can have an outside perspective. And I'm not saying that their word is like the final word, but what I'm saying is I would really trust that person or those people in my life. I thought I knew who I was, and I am a completely different person. Not completely, but I've grown up a lot. Even though I thought I was so grown when I was 18. When you're making that decision, you might not have all the pieces that maybe your parents or that person is for you. I would say trust whoever that person is. Make sure you have a lot of conversation. And I know that, trust me, love you mom, love you dad, but they always, they push me to be the best that I could be and still do. And so I really trust that they know what's best for me, and so I believe that other parents do the same for their children. Another one is get in as soon as possible. Talk to the coaches. Ask them what they want to see more of, I want you to get better at passing. Also get comfortable talking to your coaches, because when you get to college, you're going to talk to them 24/7. I can't remember going more than 2 days without talking to one of my coaches. So get used to talking to your coaches all the time. I know, because when I was that young, when I was even 18, committed, gonna be there the summertime right before you go in, I was still scared to talk to my college coaches, and it was scared me, but you need to know that those are gonna be some of the greatest people in your life. So if you get to know them as soon as possible, then that's great. So just get comfortable talking to them, being around them, maybe not being around them depending where you're going. I got lucky because I went in the same state as where I grew up. And other things like lifting. Say it's the summer before, or maybe 2 summers before. If you reach out to the lifting coach and say, hey, I want to get on top of this as soon as possible, can you send me a lift? I'd say go ahead, reach out to them, and then start doing those lifts before you get there, so you know what you're expecting, you know how your body's going to react to those lifts, and you can plan for that, and then you can get stronger before you get there, and all of these things will make you better before you get there. I'm saying 2-3 weeks of lifting can make a huge difference, especially on how your body reacts after the lift. Everybody's different. That's another thing I've learned. So yeah, I wish I would have started the summer before I went to college. I was playing volleyball, and I was playing high level volleyball, but I think that the lifting component probably would have helped, especially because I had never lifted at all seriously before I went to college. So that changed my game completely. So I thought that if I lifted sooner, that probably would have helped. Okay, now we're gonna move forward to when you're in college, because there are so many things, not so many things that I regret, but there are some things that I'm hey, I could have done that a little bit better. That was just my experience. Trust your coaches. You trust that they want what's best for you, and if you have a question or you don't agree with what they're saying, ask them that question, or be like, hey, I don't feel the same way about what we're talking about, so can we get on the same page? Because that relationship in between you and your coaches is a really big deal. And like I said before, you're going to be communicating and talking with them constantly. You want to try and always have that communicative relationship. The communication of that is key. Okay? else? Your time in college is gonna go by so quickly. When it's done and when you've played your last game or match or whatever it is, it's gonna go by so quickly. So like, take in everything that you can. Those feelings during big matches, those people that you meet, that's another thing. Make connections and friends. And maybe you're not the closest friends with them, but like just having that acquaintance. But later in life, if you need a job and you know someone who knows someone, like that can be so helpful. I know so many people who reach out to people that they knew in college, or that they knew that that person knew somebody else. Like, it's so awesome how many connections, and networking is the biggest thing. And we're back. It just turns out that somebody that you know knows someone else, and like, you're so tightly knit in the athletic department, and you have so much more access than you realize to people who know other people. And that's how networking works. So when you're in college, network and do as much of that as possible. Get on top of your school stuff early, communicate with your teachers early. As an athlete, you're going to travel a lot. You travel almost every other weekend. Let them know ahead of time. A lot of times, I mean, at my school, you gave a piece of paper to them in the beginning of the quarter or semester or whatever you have. You tell them like, these are all the days that I'm going to be gone. Sometimes the teachers will give you a schedule already and tell you like when all the exams will be and that kind of thing. If you get that chance, then like let them know, I'm going to be gone for this. Like, do you want me to take it before I leave? After I leave? I can take it on the road. Yes. Some people don't know this, but you do take exams when you're on the road sometimes. Oh, make time for a social life. In season, you're probably not going to be able to do this, but like when you have the chance, go to a football game, hang out with friends. Don't be like, I'm all school and all volleyball, because in the long run, like at the end, you'll be like, oh, I did so well in school and all that stuff, but like you won't have those fun nights to remember. And you can have so many memories. Like if your friend just texts you one night like, let's go get bubble tea. I said that because my friend just gave me bubble tea. It's peach tea with boba in it. It's really good. Also, I'm in Vietnam right now, so this stuff is like, they make it really, really well here, and it's really good. So, yes, make time for a social life for sure. It won't always happen in season, but like, if you get on top of your school stuff ASAP, then you'll have time for a social life. And you don't have time, you need to make time, because it's important. When I say social life, it doesn't mean going out or like house parties or all that kind of thing. Like, I don't mean going out. I mean getting out of the house, not necessarily going out. Getting out of the house, going to see a movie with a friend. I know that in most college towns, like, there's a movie theater there. So you can go see a movie with your friends. Or go get bubble tea with your friends. Or frozen yogurt. Or just dinner. But that's another thing. Don't feel like you have to go out every night. Because you can be tired. And like, your body's gonna be tired because you're traveling and you're working out every single day, and even I'd say the off season is almost harder than when you're in season, because you're practicing even more and you're trying to get stronger and you're trying to get faster and all these things. So I'd say make time for a social life, but know when it's not that time. So make as much time as you can to hang out with friends, but also know that like, hey, if you don't want to do this, don't do it. My friends, some of my friends, they're great and they know who they are. Hopefully they watch this video. Have broken into my house when I was in college just to make me go out. And that's awesome. Like when they know that you have nothing to do, like you need friends like that who are like, no, we're going out, we're doing this. And so highly recommend having those friends in your life, especially if you're like me and you're like, nah, I'm just gonna stay back and watch TV all night. And they know that I should be going out and I have nothing else better to do. So have those friends in your life for sure. You know who you are. One thing my athletic trainer always said to us was that like no thing is a little thing. So if you have a cut or a little strain or like something hurts a little bit, always go to the trainer. I always felt like I was being super annoying, like, oh my gosh, I have a blister on the back of my foot, because I always like to wear new shoes. And hopefully my trainer watched this video too, because she knows exactly what I'm talking about. I'd come in maybe like, I'd say once a week, because I was wearing new shoes or shoes that I hadn't worn in a long time, and I'd get blisters on the back of my feet, and she'd have to tape them up, and she would get so mad at me, especially when we were in season. She'd be like, you know better. But I was like, but they were cute shoes for school that day. So yes, nothing is too, back to my point, nothing is too small for the athletic trainer. And I learned that a little bit of the hard way, because then if you don't tell them right away, then things start to pile up and get worse and worse. And if you told them earlier, then it probably wouldn't be as bad. That's funny because I'm spilling tea on my advice. I don't know if that was funny. I thought it was funny. Yeah. This was just my experience. Someone else could have a totally different experience. Oh, I honestly, okay, I had some not great experiences with school. Not bad experiences, it was just like, and it was mostly on my own. This is very personal, kind of. I feel like it's personal. I struggled with school. In high school and middle school and all that kind of stuff, I never had to ask for help because I could always figure it out on my own. I always got it finished. And when I was in college, it freaked me out. I didn't want to ask for help. And a lot of people I've actually talked to have been through this before. When you're in college, sometimes it can get a lot more heavy, especially when you're diving deep into the subjects that you're studying. So it gets a lot more difficult. And I had some issues with this because I didn't want to reach out for help. And your athletic department has so much help that you don't even realize. You get free tutors, like take advantage of those. Even if you're like nervous about a class, take advantage of it, because it's better to have it and you can cancel it later if you go and talk to your advisor and just be like, hey, I don't actually think I need this tutor anymore. I'm doing well in the class. I'm not worried about it. So like, take advantage of that, because I was too scared to ask for help, and by the time I did, it was too late. And it's something I definitely regret. I got back up on my feet again and everything went smoothly after that, but no, make sure you're getting in the right classes, do some research, and ask for help. There's no shame in asking for help, and I think that a lot of people don't understand that asking for help can be hard, especially if you've never done it before, because a lot of student athletes that I know, you know how to be driven, like you're driven by your sport, you've done those kind of things, so asking for help is a lot more difficult than you may realize. You might feel ashamed and all that kind of stuff. Those were all the feelings I was feeling, and I didn't want to ask for help because I was like, no, I can figure it out on my own. And then I got way in over my head, and so I highly recommend just having the confidence and the composure and the willingness to ask for help, because I know that it's something that I wish that I would have done sooner, because I ended up doing it, but I just wish that I had done it sooner. Me, I had an interesting experience because I started with one head coach. I'm getting really comfortable. I had an interesting experience because I started with one head coach, and I had been recruited by this coach. I had grown up wanting to play for this coach, and then he ended up making the choice that he wanted to leave after the first year that I was there. And like, when you are recruited by a coach and you come to play for a coach, like that can be frustrating that he's leaving. Our assistant coach became the head coach, and we got another assistant coach that was amazing. That transition was very tough. And that's when it comes into play that you need to trust your coaches and trust that they know what they're doing. Like, my head coach left and he made this other guy in charge. This person who took over the program, I think, has done a good job. But originally him and I did not see eye to eye. Him and I got, and this is where the communication comes into effect. Like, him and I would have gotten along better if I had communicated sooner, or if we had decided to communicate sooner. He knows, he definitely knows that he and I did not get along too well, especially in the beginning. We have a great relationship now. He has always wanted what's best for me, and now that I know that with all my being, that like he did his best and he always wanted what was best for me, it's easier to be looking back at that situation. It was like I blew it all out of proportion because I didn't trust and I didn't communicate. So I didn't communicate early that I didn't trust what was happening. And then from then on, him and I had conversations constantly about like, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? But it was back and forth. It wasn't one-sided, and I let it be one-sided because I didn't want to say anything because he's the head coach. Yeah, communicate with your coaches and trust that they want what's best for you, because I didn't in the beginning, and I know now. If you're watching this, what's up, geek? Yeah. No, but he definitely knows, and I think he's told this story to multiple people, even coaches, I believe, but like, him and I had a huge, I don't want to say falling out, but like we had a little bit of an argument in his office one day that turned everything around, and it was only because I communicated everything that was stressing me out. But he had pulled me into the conversation, so it was both ways for sure. But once the conversation was had, it was great. Get to know your coaches, feel them out. Like if they're a people person, like my coach was, like go in there, have a conversation. They like that stuff a lot more than you realize. They want to know how you are, how you're doing. If something is bugging you, go ahead and tell them. Like, what's the worst that can happen? They'd be like, figure it out. Communicate with your coaches. That's what I'm trying to say. And then the last thing I'll say, and this has changed, I don't want to say like the way I live my life, because that's very extreme. But to an extent, it's kind of accurate. Controlling the controllables. I can't control if my teammate decides to come in and not give any effort. I can't control what the coach decides to do. All you can control is your effort and your attitude towards the situation. I have a really hard time when I can't control things, and it's taken me a long time, but I've started to recognize the things that I can control. Because now things that are out of my control, I just kind of laugh because I'm like, I literally can't do anything about it. So here we go. It's also more fun that way. Don't go into things having expectations of the way that you would do them, because guess what? You're not doing them. Control the controllables. Your attitude and your effort every single day. Practice. It's a privilege, not a right, that you get to do what you love every day. For me, it's volleyball. I still am. I played in Italy this past season. I'm looking for a new pro contract. Don't know where I'll end up. No, but it's a privilege. I get to play. I'm in Vietnam right now playing in a professional volleyball tournament. Like, this is amazing. You meet so many new people. All the girls that I'm playing with right now are either fresh out of college or they're professionals already. So like, I'll put them into 5 now. Probably the things that I think that are the most important are communication, controlling the controllables, trusting those people in your life that are huge influences, or you know that they love you so much and they want what's best for you. Have fun. Like, it goes by way too fast, so just enjoy it while you can. And then make time for friends and networking, and like, get yourself out there. I know, like, I was shy, I didn't want to do it, but so thankful that I did, and I have some amazing friends because of it. Highly recommend. I don't know why I keep doing this. I guess if you're watching this and you have any questions, I'm still a little new to the YouTube thing, but like, let's get after it. Why not ask me some questions down below? Yeah, no, I'll answer all the questions that come in. I love volleyball. Yeah. Power Rangers. Look at this. We got some Power Ranger sweatshirt, some bubble tea. We got the whole setup here. again. Now I'm just rambling. Okay. La la la. But like, yeah. That's what I got for you guys today. Like and subscribe if it's something that you'd watch. If you're not gonna watch it, then probably don't subscribe. That'd be my advice to you. I'm gonna be making more videos whether you watched it or not, because I'm excited about it. See you guys next time on my channel. See you guys next time on my channel. That's better.